guys. I'm Maddie. Somebody once told me that when you travel, you become a storyteller. I'm here because I want to tell you my story. And I'm going to start off with a little poem I wrote. Your clothes are tattered, and your feet are dirty and scabbed and calloused. Your chin juts to the right every time you open up your mouth to smile. Your Superman shirt smells like sweat and waste, and no little boy would wear it in America, and I miss that shirt. I remember the night that you came over to our house when we sat at the table by candlelight, playing cards and drinking hot tea. You were holding a blue bucket and you were looking for something. Chickens. You were looking for your chickens. So we told you to come over, come sit with us, and we'll give you food, and we'll pretend that we never have to say goodbye. You stayed with us for hours, and oh, the joy. It brought me to tears. And I fall to pieces because I love you. And then Monday called you home, and your little feet carried you under the streaming light of the Southern Cross. I wish that if I stepped out of my house and into cool mountain air and called your name, that you would hear me and run to where I am. I wish we called the same place home. And I walked to your house with the camera around my neck. I wanted to take your picture. I wanted to remember what 8-year-old boy was like just then, before he is hardened by hard things. But I didn't get a perfect picture to put into a wooden frame because every time I said smile, you started dancing. No one can keep you from dancing. Hold on to that part of you, my sweet boy. Don't ever let anyone tell you to stop. Don't let the sounds of sorrow or the expectations of poverty keep you from teaching the world how to dance, because you are a teacher, my boy. I know this because I spent 5 weeks as your student learning more from you than I ever did in school. And I'll come back, so wait for me. Don't grow a day older until I can be there to watch and write down the many chapters of your life in the pages of my broken heart. And I wish we could be a family, me and you and the people we love, but we can't be, we won't, because you raised yourself, and I know nothing of your strength. And when they tell you what happened, I will not tell you not to cry. I'll hold you, and we'll let the tears drip from our eyes, and the water will fall to the ground and hydrate the earth beneath us, and we'll grow stronger together and be delivered from the demons that try to silence the rhythm of your joy. I'll come back, so wait for me. I love you, my little boy. This summer, my best friend and I, Emma Reynolds, she's right here, we spent 3 months backpacking through East Africa. We started the summer, we lived 3.5 weeks in Kenya, and then we traveled through Uganda for about 4.5 weeks. But tonight I'm here to tell you about a journey that I took living in South Sudan. I remember the first day that we crossed the border. We started from Arua, northern Uganda, and our itinerary was to travel about 70 kilometers across the border until we got to where we were living. It was supposed to take 4 to 5 hours, and already that's like a really long journey, but we could handle it. We had been traveling a lot, and we'd had some crazy experiences. So there were 4 of us Americans traveling together, and we piled into this weird European minivan, and then like 7 other people piled in after us, and so we were total like 11 people cramped in this car with a ton of stuff on the roof. I mean, there were like mattresses and like a ton of different stuff, and we were so cramped. So we started off on this journey, and the first 2 hours were really sweet because the Chinese had been nice enough to pave us some roads. So that was great. And then the pavement ended and it got so weird. It ended up taking 9 hours to cross that border. So let's all think about that for a little second. It was 70 kilometers and it took us 9 hours. Yep, that happened. So multiple occasions on this journey, it felt as if our driver had never actually driven a car before. We ran off into ditches, all these weird things happened, and at the end of the journey we found out that that was true. He had never actually driven a car before. So, yeah, we love South Sudan. So there was this one particular moment along the journey that we found ourselves hanging out in a ditch. And everyone was screaming in Arabic, and we were tired and hungry, and we just wanted to be in South Sudan by now, but we were just in the ditch. So everybody got out, And everybody started yelling at each other and trying to push the car, and I was really over it. So I walked away, and I walked to the side of the road where I saw a ton of kids just running around and playing. And I knew that that's why I was in Africa, because I love children. And so I get to the side of the road, and there's all these little kids that are laughing and pointing and saying the word Kawaja, which means white person. And so there's a fiasco happening behind me, and I'm just here with these kids, and I'm about to step off of the road into the grass. And my friend Billy pulls me back and he says, "Maddie, don't step off of the road because you don't know where the landmines are." And I was shocked. I realized that this wasn't just some 3-month fun backpacking trip. I was in a war zone. And I looked at these kids, and we were separated by this tangible barrier of fear. And I wondered how many of their friends had found landmines walking home from school or playing soccer. Day one.